The course of the last year, we've had clean tech, the health and medical, the conventional energy, and now the ag and forestry, and we'll roll around back to the clean tech seminar next quarter. So for the ag and forestry seminar, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how MNT Product Technologies fit in ag and forestry. So what when we talk about micro and nano technologies, micro is less than 100 microns, nano is less than 100 nanometers. That's kind of the way that we discuss it. And if you look at the application areas, they target many different types of products and new materials for sensing and actuation. We cover all the different markets in this series that we're going to be discussing over the course of the year. With a specific focus in ag and forestry here today, we're going to talk about how micro nanotechnologies enhance productivity, efficiency, and sustainability in the sector. So that's kind of the product areas. Now, I want to specifically start by thanking the IRAP guys. They basically funded this whole series over the course of the year. Thank you very much. And to start out talking a little bit about the market and the applications, what I wanted to show was that this came from a group. This is just an understanding of some of the different product areas that people are involved in today, whether it's nutritional supplements or food packaging products or additives. There are today many different areas. I was even surprised McDonald's is in there with food packaging. But so some of the packaging technologies are using nanotechnologies today. And by the way, all these slides, just so everybody is aware of, the presentations will be up on our website, as well as a YouTube connection that we're videotaping in the back. Some of the presenters have asked not to be either YouTubed or the PowerPoint's up. That's okay. Most of them will be up there. We will be taping, and we'll put up the ones that allow us to do it. So you'll be able to get the data, and you'll be able to see this. All the references to the market information that we have, are at least in this presentation, are in the back. The last slide references where all the market information comes from. For the ag and food area, if you look, there are over 300 types of products that are being produced, worth over $20 billion in 2010. This is the estimate for nanotechnology is that 40% of the food industry will be involved in nanotechnologies by 2015. So there's quite a bit of growth going forward in micro nanotechnologies. Some of the major companies, the who's who, that are involved in food industries today, and it's growing. And then if you look at agri-food, it includes production, processing, packaging, storage, transportation, the safety and security of your food. All of that goes into micro nanotechnologies. In the forestry area, Canada produces over $80 billion in total revenue and employs over 300,000 people. So it's quite a huge industry for the forestry industry. Canada is the world's largest exporter. It's important to be aware of. And we export about $4 billion annually. And the nanotechnology is a major opportunity. And in the forestry area, new products coming in the next few years. Nanotechnology will help revitalize the industry in forestry. It's been hit badly in the last few years, but hopefully with some of the technologies going forward in micro nano to help to re-energize and revitalize it. If we look at each one of the different markets, I have a slide on each one. I'm not going to go through it in detail, but again, it's something you can get off the internet from our website. But there's lots of different base technologies being put together in capsules, in sensors, and in chips. It's either tracking products or it's monitoring and sensing of bacteria, viruses, and so forth. In the food processing area, there's flavor enhancers, there's lots of different technologies. Carbon nanotubes are even being employed in some areas. And emulsions and particles. A lot of material type products are being put together. In the packaging area, embedding sensors for temperature, moisture, time, those kinds of things are important going forward in the food industry. Also making packaging materials that are antimicrobial or antibacterial, very important. For security and safety, detection of pathogens in food, very important going forward, and quickly doing it, even though today there's nothing on the package to tell you. Going forward, hopefully there'll be things on the package that'll definitely tell you what's going on inside. As well as monitoring and recording the products as they ship around the world. For the forestry area, nanofibers, new areas in nanocrystalline cellulose. These are very important for composites and new building materials. In fact, we'll hear quite a number of different discussions today on all these different topics. The ability for us to take some of the new wood products for ultraviolet protection, moisture resistance, putting in nano coatings and nano formulations. These are the areas I think that you'll see companies exploiting. Also in forestry, the coating area, filtration, those types of products will be incorporated into what we do today in forestry and help the industry. Now, let me talk about the presentations for a moment. So, what ACAMP tried to set up in these seminars is it's a full day. There's 5 presentations per session on average. I think we squeezed in another one at the last minute in the finance session. Now, the first session deals with technology, and it's more things that are going on in research that are out 5 years. So we're talking between 3 to 5 years out. These are emerging technology developments. A lot of research going on in the universities. We'll be talking about that. Application areas are between 2 to 3 years out, in that range, and these are companies developing products using micro nanotechnology. You'll get to hear about some of the application areas. Companies will be talking about things that they're doing less than 2 years, things that are being produced. Also, some of these sessions that we try to have companies talk about, larger companies talking about pull, things that they need, that they're not strategic to them, so they're not developing them necessarily, but they're looking for those technologies. So it helps us to get engaged, lots of companies around the region, to find out more about pull requirements by larger corporations. And then finally, at the end of the day, we're going to round up with financing. And so we'll have speakers talking about what they're looking for to put money into for ag and forestry applications in micro nanotechnologies. So this will give you some good background.